I'm Tira Oldari, co-founder of Babellion Studios, also class of 2023 from Temple Film.
And I'm Joshua Afiriyie, also class of 2023, and the other co-founder of Babellion Studios. I definitely kind of was just feeling restless, I think, because our year got pretty impacted by COVID significantly because it came our sophomore year. So our sophomore and junior year, we kind of lost to the pandemic. And we lived in a house, me, Tira, and three other of our peers were all involved in either, if they weren't in the major, they were involved in film and media arts in some way. So, and we were all kind of specialized in different areas as well. So I was just thinking to sort of just self-start and generate our own art, we could easily just utilize the talents of the people who lived in that house, along with some of our other peers in the film program. And I also came up with the idea because I wanted there's like a whole mythology behind like the name Babellion, but I basically wanted Babellion to be a way for us to use our talents and our skills to sort of express ourselves, and really just tell stories that came from us, that came from our experiences.
Around the origins of Babellion, we had a film called Dollhouse. That was like our first like film campaign. We've been like really focused on doing a lot of different shorts and podcasts with the studio and doing like a really large social media push for it. So it started with Dollhouse, and then we moved on to doing a lot of podcasts. We did Saturday Night, which also got into Diamond Q one year. I did have a documentary that got into Diamond Docs. And then when the big thesis happened is kind of when we like started getting larger as a studio, I think, with Simmer, and then Politics of Girly Girl Friendships that followed that, and now most recently a web series, The Past Night with Mars Apollo.
The horizontal networking is
Mm.
definitely like built in to Babellion, I feel, and just all of the projects we've been able to do. As we just progress more and more, I can look back and I can say, each project was really leading us to the next one, and each project was also helping us just connect with our peers and collaborate more. If not on like in the temple community, then over time we've slowly started to reach outwards, I think, and just connect with different people.
I think starting with Diamond Screen was like a big motivator for us, as like as soon as Dollhouse was like the first one of our projects to get into a Diamond Screen event. I think it was the end of the year one. We realized like getting things exhibited and shown towards like an audience, especially in like a theatrical environment, was really important, because like that's ideally where we all feel like we're headed, in the film program, is getting things on the big screen, or at least getting things shown to as many people as possible. So, especially with the thesis Simmer, we've been trying to go on a really big film festival push with that over the past couple of years. Even with Politics of Girly Girl Friendships, which we had a couple Diamond Screen events. And now with the web series, even though it is a web series, it is available online, we still want to be able to show it for as many people as we can, in as many different venues as we can, because we think it's an important experience. And continuing to use that as a place to network and grow and just like spread our love for filmmaking, and hopefully just grow stronger as a community, but as filmmakers and in our skills or in our craft. So I feel like that's really the long-term goal, is just like continuing to grow and get better.
Yeah, and I can bounce off of that just thinking about community, especially. I think just like I've always in my mind, like I've always seen Babellion as like a beacon of community in for filmmakers to sort of just congregate, to exchange ideas, to collaborate, and just the power in being able to realize that we can use each other. We can not use each other, but we can help each other. We can assist each other. We can really, it doesn't always have to be about the journey, or it doesn't have to be about the destination of the film that we're making, but the journey and the collaboration and the connections that we make along the way, I think is something that yeah, I really just want to see Babellion foster that in the future.
You meet people on projects and then, you know, you ask them like, oh, do you know someone that can do this? Do you know someone that can do that? And it's just like through the grapevine kind of. You end up finding people because like especially in such a collaborative space like college, like film school, like people are really just wanting to get their hands on things and work with as many people as possible or as many projects as possible. So I feel like, especially in that space, it was really easy to network because everyone's just trying to grind through all of these projects. And so, um, Josh and I have worked with like a bunch of different people just through a mutual ambition, I guess. And that's really all it came down to, just like how much we really wanted to get a project done. And then a lot of them ended up becoming like friends along the way, which is really nice as well.
I think Temple pushes their students to generate their own work and to really take their creativity into their own hands. I feel like that I feel like that is the kind of attitude that I felt aligned with as a filmmaker. And just starting the studio in general, I feel like that kind of indie filmmaking that I think is kind of also just Philadelphia in general, a very Philadelphia energy.
Hmm.
Um, just having the ability to initiate your own projects, having the ability to make it work with whatever resources you have and create something from your own assertiveness, I
Yeah.
suppose.
I guess bouncing off of that, I would definitely say like the sort of do it yourself mentality, especially like when we're doing a lot of our podcasts, interviewing a lot of people within the program and outside of the program and other Temple students as well. I think there was something very just like, yeah, like a do-it-yourself energy that came from that because it had nothing to do with like the curriculum that we're in. There was no like podcast class that I was doing, for example, that led me to that. It was just like this desire to continue to grow and like learn different mediums, I guess, through while we had the resources and the equipment from Temple, like while we had this sort of safety net, if you will. And I feel like that's really helped us prepare for like being outside of that comfort zone and like continuing to create outside of the safety net, if you will.
I would say just having, I did the study awake program in LA, and that was really interesting to compare to Philadelphia because I definitely feel like, in my opinion, that Philadelphia is more indie, is a lot more indie um, or supportive to indie filmmaking and sort of like grassroots organizing. I feel like in a place like LA, or I would assume even New York, even though I haven't had too much experience in the New York scene, I feel like those are places where there's much more of a industry and there's much more of a structure set up for the actual like filmmaking that's going on. I think Philadelphia is still growing in that sense, and there's something really special about that. I think the people who are in this environment do adopt that mindset, this do-it-yourself mindset, and that goes that reaches far beyond just filmmaking. I feel like if you're making music, any type of art you're making, Philadelphia is a place where it's just you get to embrace your own way of doing things, and you kind of the onus is on you as a creator in which you can put out and kind of being free from an industry or a structure that's already there does liberate you in a sense to build your own path and also focus on the people around you and the people in your community, the people in your environment. And you just have to be more crafty. You got to be more resourceful, industrious. Like that's what
Yeah.
I appreciate.
I think there's something really special about being in a place when it's just sort of starting to come alive. Like there's a lot of energy and there's a lot of spirit towards making this work. And I think there's a lot of people that have really planted themselves here wanting to make it work, even though maybe like there is a much more assurance that could come out of like moving to New York, moving to Los Angeles. I think there's something really special about staying and trying to make something happen here. because once it takes off, it's like you already are in, you know. And I think like that's what like really encouraged me to stay, especially after graduating Temple. Is like I want to be a part of something new and different, and not just jumping on the bandwagon of something that's already going. Take advantage of all the resources, and not just like the film ones. Like there's you know, mental health resources, there's physical health resources, you know, there's all sort of things that you can take advantage of, because I mean you're already paying for it, so you might as well, especially in a film sense, like the equipment office, like there's so many different things that you can utilize there and learn the equipment, because like it does matter. I feel like once you start to look for jobs elsewhere, especially having like a versatile skill set and list of equipment that you are at least familiar with, I feel like that's really helpful.
Yeah, I'll say, and maybe this kind of contradicts you, Tira, but I'll 100% say just your success. Personally, I always say to myself, my success is measured by how much I slow down, not how much I speed up. I feel like as you are entering or just being in college, there's this kind of like try everything, do everything energy. And I think that's valuable, but just to sort of, you know, be mindful of yourself, your body, your energy levels and what you are capable of. And if you're still learning about those things and what you can handle and what you can take on, that's completely okay. But just don't forget to be adventurous, but be intentional. Be
Yeah,
adventurous, but be intentional.
that's definitely why I started with the mental health resources note, because it's like things do move really fast, but it is important to slow down and like gauge where you're at, like the intentionality of what you want to do, and not just like throwing stuff on the wall and seeing what sticks, for sure.
Stay tuned for the rest of our web series. Okay, we're coming back. We're coming back for the next 4 episodes. Simmer is also still in the festival circuit. We're still getting accepted into more festivals. We just got accepted into the DC Black Film Festival, which is awesome. Soon the Simmer will be available to watch. I don't know when that will be, but that will be coming up soon. Um, and yeah, that's
Yeah,
that.
follow our Instagram for all the updates at Babellion Studios. We also have like a newsletter that we release every now and then with updates, if that's your preferred way of getting your updates. So check out the links in our bio on the Instagram. Go
Yes,
out.
go out.